we got probably time for 2 questions. So who's got a question for this panel up here? We got Eric, who told us that we got to think about value pricing, and we got to think about it from an academic perspective and really come up with kind of a science of pricing. We had Deanna show us a million amazing features. We had Paul, who showed us an incredible focus on what customers actually need and want and how to create products that are really differentiated in the market. And then Melissa is how to embarrass customers into actually making the right decision. All right.
Hi. Excuse me, my voice is jacked up. Just more of an agreement with you guys. We just recently, coincidentally, all the stuff you guys are talking about, we've been talking about 3 or 4 pretty big home inspection companies and asking them their take and why. And across the board, they're like, I'd never buy a used home.
Then get that
across
in
the board.
Get that in an easy, nice little piece of information that
That's
you can
what
send
we're doing.
either digitally or in print, right?
Yep.
Where it explains, here's what you need to do, safe things, and it even could have, by the way, testimonials from inspectors in it. So
that's what we're doing.
It's not you, right?
Right.
These are professional inspectors saying, look, if you're going to be safe, you know.
They're letting us reference them. We got a little sheet. That's exactly what we're doing. And we've got like a little bullet list of why they wouldn't do it and that they unanimously all agree. They just wouldn't do it. They just know the things.
Oh my God.
But the one question I had, the one question I had for you guys, do we know, does anybody have a market research out there that says this amount of dollars will be spent in the next 3 years on a used home or the next 5 years? Has anybody pulled that yet?
We calculated that actually as part of that Start Fresh Buy New initiative.
Right.
We actually came up with the average amount of each home of how much it would cost to bring them up. And it was based on, in that market, what's the age of the housing stock and how much does it cost in that market to actually upgrade kitchens, baths, blah, 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 blah.
I'm in Southern California, so we're about $14,000 more or 14,000% more than anywhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you.
Well, and you could even come up with a calculator. I mean, we did that. It's
Look, in Southern California, you got to take a mortgage out to get the guy to come out and just look at your house.
Right.
But you could create a calculator, right, for your salespeople to use or for your customers on
All
your
right, one more question. We got at least
I don't know if this is a question or a statement, but if we could get the industry...
Does it have a question mark at the end of it?
Maybe. There's my question, maybe. How can we get the industry on the same page on this messaging, right? This does not need to be an area where we need to compete with each other. If we could standardize messaging and evolve it as a community, this just seems like an area where we could make a lot of hay by working together. So the buyers are hearing the same things from builders.
That actually is a really, 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 really important issue. In that study that was done quite a few years ago, we actually concluded that if consumers heard the same kind of message from each builder they went to, in other words, they went to you and they heard all about the, new used homes have all this, and here's a checklist, and here's all the things you need to worry about. And then they went over to you, and it may not be the same exact checklist, but it's another checklist talking about those things. If they visited 2 builders and got this same concern, the concern became a fact. Yes, so if all the builders would, one, stop talking about resale, there are no resale homes, there's just used homes and new homes, that helps. If we all would then have the checklist of what to look for and how to compare a used home to a new, even if they're not identical, it plants that seed of doubt and anxiety of acquiring a used home, right? So, and then I think some of the marketing materials that was created for Start Fresh Buy New are available free to charge to builders, and you can even use those and put them on your website and things like that for free, and that spreads the message as well.
One other thing that you could do is, in your messaging to customers, prioritize you shouldn't buy the used home, and send a message essentially of, even if our homes, my homes are not right for you, go to another new builder. Because then that also adds the value of building trust with the customer, that they're like, oh, okay, they're looking out for me. They're not just trying to sell me something. They're trying to help me make the right decision. They're trying to help me to the right solution, which can then add value back to you and make you a trusted partner.
Right. Yeah. So phrases like, don't get stuck living in the 70s. And then you kind of explain it, small closets, blah, 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 low ceilings, right? You kind of list, who wants to get stuck? I want all of this stuff that she just showed me, right? I want the cool nooks and the niches and the fireplace outside my bedroom. That's what I want.
But Tim, you can't say the 70s because like that's kind of retro cool. Maybe the 80s, like the 80s,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Yeah.
mid-century is still 50s, 60s.
Oh, is it?
70s,
Okay, so
I think everybody
70s?
still hates the 70s, right?
Okay.
It's kind of a follow-up. What about the challenge of like a co-op realtor? I mean, to me, that's the biggest challenge is that person standing there and she just wants them to buy a house.
Yep.
So
Yep.
as soon as they leave, what can we do to get that?
Right. So
I call it kind of like the
let's-
enemy on my side.
Yeah, so let's be honest. You're kind of fighting an entire real estate world that actually wants to hijack the term new homes. Ask anybody that bought a home, what do they say? We just bought a new home.
Yeah.
Except only 12% bought a new home. Everybody else just got a new address. We used to have a tagline called, it's a new home, not just a new address. To again, crystallize this issue. Just because you move, you don't get the benefits, the value of a new home. And it's about then having that discussion with them about what the value is. And I think as long as you can then transition to what the value of new is, right? The realtor's not going to refute you in front of their client because they might buy your house, in which case I'm done, right? But behind the scenes, they're going to go try to sell any property that they have, and that's just the reality of the marketplace.
Yeah.
So you're the advocate. You've got to do it.
Yeah, and it's not even like they're kind of neutral. They actually would prefer, in many cases, to go sell one of their own listings. They'd prefer to go sell a used home because they know it's going to close faster. So we've done a lot of research and studies. Then you'll have a buyer who comes along and you don't think they have a real estate agent, and then suddenly one pops in the picture, and suddenly, the course changes. So I think you have to double down on controlling that message and that relationship. Because a lot of times with a realtor involved, we kind of go, oh, they're going to do it. They've got the selling process. You actually need to be even more aggressive. I mean, it'd be great if we were in a world where you wouldn't need them.
Yep. Well, the key is,
It's easy to have the realtors tell the realtor, don't take your people to that builder.
right, the issue for you is you have to have a message of, we love agents,
Yep.
even though you may not, but that is your message. We love agents, right? We respect them, we value them, we remunerate them, we love you, right? But we're also extremely proud to be home builders, building modern homes of modern design with modern technology, which are clearly better than what you built 10 years ago. Is anybody here not building homes better than you built 10 years ago? No. So we're the best witness for this. We know the homes we're building today are better than the homes we built 10 years ago. So we know for a fact that new is better. That's just a reality. So we have to be proud of that.
And I would add, wherever you can advertise direct to consumers is the best play, right? It's not like you're going to be nasty to agents. It's not like you may not advertise there, but the more direct buyers you can get who are not being pummeled with realtor messaging through their process, that's super powerful.
All right. I hate to cut this off, but John, I think we're a little bit behind, and we're okay. We're not terribly behind, but we're going to move on to the next session. Panelists, thank you very much. Extraordinary content.